It's the Hotch Potch launch party, part 3.
Next up, we have
Thank you.
Gail Farnsworth, who wrote a story called Under the Skin. And the artwork that Gail used for her prompt was it was untitled by Katie O'Rourke. And I'm going to actually invite Erin to share that so we can look at that while Gail speaks about her process.
That. My process, well, this is very different for me because I usually, well, always start with the character. Um, and the character sparks the story, and then it's basically improv. That's my background with theater. And so I chose this beautiful painting, and I just looked at it several times for quite a bit of time and just got feelings from it. Nothing specific. I didn't try to have a concept about it. Um, and then all of a sudden I got this narrator in my head uh, who is unnamed in the story. And I refer to the painting at a crucial point in the story, near the end of the story. And I think that works really well. So it's a very different process for me, but I really enjoyed it. And I want to thank Pamela for inviting me to write a story.
Fantastic piece. I love it.
Gail,
Yeah.
Oh,
did
you're
you, did you,
wonderful.
did you want to read an excerpt or you just want to leave it at that?
I don't need to read an excerpt. It's okay. Thank you. And thank you, Pamela.
It's great. Great to have
Um,
you. That's also wonderful, wonderful. The stories are so good this issue. They're so exciting.
Okay, so thanks, Gail. And I also really enjoyed your story. It was great. We're going to pause now for a couple of getting to know you questions from the creative team, or sorry, for the creative team, just for kicks like everything. So,
So we're going to keep this fairly loose. So if there's someone that wants to respond, you can either raise your regular hand or your virtual hand, and or you can just jump right in. So the first question, it's a little bit esoteric. What first drew you to the image that you picked? And I guess Aaron's not going to be able to, or Aaron could speak to what drew you to the artists if you wanted to. So for the writers, what drew
Hey,
you
How
to?
how about, I'm sorry to interrupt, but how about if Aaron talks about how he chose the cover art?
Ah, there we go. Perfect. Love it.
Yeah, so yeah, so a few things. One is that Katie O'Rourke is a local to me in Montpelier, Vermont artist that I met once Gal and I moved here, and I was really taken with her art. And a couple issues ago, we had a cover that had a painting of a person's face, and were wearing a hat, and it was just really, really strong. It was such a strong cover, and and our issue got a lot of reads. And last issue, I didn't feel like we had a super, super strong uh image, like a cover kind of image, from the submissions from the artist. So I did a bunch of drawings, and one of them was a sort of peppercorn, and it was on there, and it was kind of meh. And you know what? Our issue respond like the response, I mean, it was a great issue, but like we didn't get that much readership, right, compared to the other one. And I'm just really thinking that like we need a strong image. We need a strong image for that cover. And there's hardly anything stronger than a human being. We're social creatures. And so I love Katie O'Rourke's work, and that particular image to me was just so engaging. It was just gorgeous to look at, and it was a human figure. And I I instantly knew, at least provisionally knew, that that was going to be our cover until, I of course was waiting to see what else came in. But for me, it was just clear that that had to be our cover image, because it's all about sales.
And when you have a free magazine, you need all the sales you can get.
That's right.
Anyone
Make
else?
our money off of volume.
Yeah. Did anybody else want to jump in about why they picked the image that they picked?
I'll say what I had from Stephanie Snyder. I had the calendar collage with the plants growing over everything, and the minute I saw the plants growing all over everything, I was in Sleeping Beauty. I was just absolutely in that fairy tale, and I knew that I needed to have an entire community of some sort put to sleep by this girl being in magical sleep. And I actually loved several of the other paintings and kept trying to talk myself out of it, and I never succeeded. I just kept coming back to my Sleeping Beauty.
Anyone else?
I can say I also chose one of the Katie O'Rourke paintings, and I think it was really the colors. I mean, stylistically, it's the type of art I like. Um, the colors, brought me to it. It's sort of impressionistic, maybe abstract a little bit too. But I also thought it was interesting because I mean, to me, it looked like something specifically. Um, and I wasn't sure if, I wasn't sure if that's what the artist intended. So I thought that might be kind of interesting if it was not what the artist intended. But to me, it looked very clearly like um, boats or, some sort of sea on a horizon, um, with sort of two boats there. Um, so it just, that image came to me. And I think, like I said, just the colors and just the brush strokes in the sky and everything. And then sort of included in the story as an actual painting. So it's actually physically, I want it to be in the story, not just the inspiration for it, but it's actually taking place, in the narrative. So
Terrific.
It's a
I was
great,
hoping the artist would be here. I was hoping that.
Yeah, none of our artists were available, sadly. Not today. Um,
Hopefully they read through all the stories.
I hope so too. Well, I think in the interest of time, we should probably move on.
All right. Well, we do have another question.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
our second question is, what is the weirdest talent that you have?
And that any of the contributors, welcome to jump in. Maybe someone who hasn't shared yet. Go ahead, Marilyn.
I can put my entire fist in my mouth.
Can you show us? No, it's not.
Absolutely not. No. I can't believe I have actually shared that with you.
That is fantastic.
I know.
I am like,
Flabbergasted.
Okay, so someone else, please give a talent.
I
I'm
can-
like,
okay.
Going
I've got a really strange one. I'll be really fast so I don't get violin.
What?
If I'm in the right space before sleep, but not sleeping, I can actually kind of wander out on the street in my consciousness, and it's like it's not a dream state, but it is so incredibly real. Like I can turn corners and see the street signs, and I know everything that's going on. It doesn't happen all the time or anything, but it does happen, and it's a really cool, odd experience. And I don't know if that's a talent or a neurosis or I've got a brain tumor, but there it is.
So it's like a sleepwalking thing?
No, it's like more like as closest thing I could think of is like astral projection. Like it's really like I'm flying around the neighborhood and I've got a range. Like I can't go any further than places I actually really know well. And I walk all the time, so I have a real intense visual connection to my neighborhood. So I'm just kind of like flying above the street, looking at the dogs and saying hi to everybody, and then I go back into bed.
So cool. These are fascinating. Anyone else? Any interesting, odd, weird talents? I can do this thing like where I make a whistle. I don't know if you can hear it though. It's not that weird, but
Sounds like a train.
it's a little weird. It impresses little kids like, nobody's business.
We're all impressed with Gail's train whistle, but now we want to encourage you to read Hotch Potch, Volume 3, Issue 1. Here's the link. And stay tuned for Part 4. See you there.